very good morning to you all. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is the African Renaissance Television. Ooh, the first time you hear me use that word. This is the African Renaissance Television. We are rebranding, we're changing from SRTV. It's still there, it's still our brand, but we are now officially the African Renaissance Television. So you can call us the Art TV. That's who we are. Well, on today's show is still the same Rise and Shine Nigeria. This is where we talk about. We take a look at the papers in Nigeria. We review some of the activities that has happened within the day, the current affairs, and what is trending. We bring all to you, and sometimes we discuss important issues. And sometimes we actually only end up discussing issues, not even taking a look at our papers. But today we're going to be a little bit clinical. As usual, I have my girl with me. Mary is right here with me, right here. You know, Mary, this is the one I can bully on. Hello, Mary. Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Mary.
Daddy Chris. Happy New
How are
Week.
you?
Good morning, Daddy Chris. I'm fine. I said Happy New Week. You said we celebrate everything in Nigeria.
And you know that you know I'm going to protest. In
So
apparently
this is a
Nigeria,
new
there's
week.
nothing to celebrate. Happy New Day, Happy New Week, Happy New Month, Happy New Happy New Year. May happy new decade, happy century. Sometimes we don't see the century. That's why we
No,
want
you
to
know,
celebrate.
the truth is celebration, Daddy Chris. Celebration is for the living. Celebration is for the living. It's only when you're alive that you can celebrate. So that is
I
why
agree.
you not blame
But
us.
Mary,
You don't feel like
you've
waking
not
up
really
every day.
rebrand yourself. Oh. You are still
You
carrying
know, we are
SRTV.
alive.
You're still carrying SRTV Abuja. Please change it to the correct one before we bring you back. All right, maybe it's still, you know, it's going to take time for us to
Oh,
get used to that.
oh,
We are no more SRTV. We are now the African Renaissance Television. We're still the same. Don't get confused. It's still our brand. It's just that we just believe that we would resonate better based on what we do, the things we do. We better operate as the African Renaissance Television. We are duly registered everywhere. SRTV is who we are as well. So we work with the two brands. So don't get confused if you're just joining us today. Well, as you know, this is the show where we take a look at the current activities in Nigeria today and around the world. And around the world. Apparently, from what I can see, Donald Trump is shaking the whole world. Do you hear that? Donald Trump is shaking the whole world. Even the UK, the best friend, they tell you the best friends. They are no more best friends. Because Donald Trump doesn't even know who is his friend. He's just bullying everybody. He's bulldozing everybody. And to some extent, Donald Trump is fighting for America and America alone. That's the problem. Donald Trump is not wishing anybody evil, but he's fighting for America and America alone. He wants America to be great again. And that is the fear. But great at what cost? Losing all your friends? What is the American value? The only reason we all say, let us practice democracy, let us talk about human rights, is because America has been upholding it and been telling us it's the way to go. Now we need a new world leader. If Donald Trump refused to be the world leader, is trying to take America from being the world leader was never because of weapon, America. You were world leader because of the ideology you have carried on. We've all come to practice democracy because which originated from your leader who defined democracy as the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And that's something the world is trying to practice. It's the modern democratic creed. It's the new civilization. Maybe you're telling us it is for you alone. Then stay alone. Because if you're going to carry us with you, then we need to share. You need to share burden, and we need to share joy. Americans sometimes I get confused the kind of people you actually guys vote for. From the time you keep voting Bush, we wanted to have our girl, you bring in Bush, George Bush. We wanted to have Hillary Clinton, you brought this one. The world, that's what the world wanted. Maybe for America, that politics is better for you. But for the world, it is not. For those of us around the world, we are not in tune with you, America. We're not happy with you, America, because you cannot, Donald Trump cannot just come and change things, a long-lasting tradition, just change overnight. In other words, slogan, America should be great again. All right, let America be great again. As you're getting great, leave us alone. Don't come to us. Don't preach your jargon with us. Allow us to be who we are. Except that our brothers you took as slaves, you need to pay us for that first. Anyway, we'll come to that another day. That's not the topic of today. Apparently, Donald Trump is kicking everybody. trying to actually send everybody from America, but we have to give him one credit. He is fighting for the betterment of the American people at the expense of any other. And perhaps there are two ways to it. Might want to agree with him, you might not. That's why the local Americans are happy with him. They'll keep voting him because if what Donald Trump is doing, he's saving the American money. He's telling you, listen, hey, if you're going to be in NATO, you contribute your money. America will not contribute more. America is ready to withdraw all the financial aid. Anywhere they are paying too much, they're going to say, no, bring your own. And I think it's fair for the American people. But for the leadership, America has led us. He has betrayed us. That is where we come. Anyway, like I said, that's not the topic of today. Today, on African Renaissance Television, we'll be looking at one important thing. Mary is right back with me. Yes. And now we're going to make it simple from next time. I put the long word today, the African Renaissance Television. Next time, we're just going to put it as ART, Art Television. All right. But for now, we are the African Renaissance Television. So you understand the meaning of the African Renaissance.
Yeah, I just felt like today is the first day. I actually had to put the RT before.
Yeah,
Before I
yes.
came.
It's good for them to get used to this. Anyway, Mary, today we're gonna make it very simple, sharp, sharp, sharp. We're gonna take a look at one very important topic, which I call the Nigerian police. All right, the Nigerian police. It's very important that we take a look at this very important sector because many there's something common around the world. If you go to anywhere in the world, Mary, we have the police. We have the police force. It's not only in Nigeria. We have the Ghanaian police, the Nigerian police, the American police, British police. Because without police, I don't know where the world will be. So, and this
That,
report is what I do. They say why the police force worldwide face issues like corruption. It's not only in Nigeria, brutality and inefficiency. Their role remain vital. You understand? Their role remain vital. And we're going to take a look at these people today. The focus will be on the Nigerian police. What do you think about the Nigerian police? Who are they? What comes to mind when you hear the Nigerian police? Sometimes it's very, very sad. What immediately comes to mind? I brought this important image of how the typical Nigerian police look like. And for the purpose of this presentation today, I'll be sharing images of other police forces, but this is the one. This is the sad one. This is not a very good one. But that is the Nigerian police trampling on a human being. This is not very nice, Mary. Mary will agree with me, this is not nice. And Mary, when we talk of police, Nigerian
yeah,
police, what comes to your mind?
that,
Huh?
okay. Regardless of how we see it over time we've really had this um negative mind towards them. The kinds of because of the way they do things, right? But the truth is, if we want to be sincere with ourselves, police are supposed to be the ones that are closer to us whenever there's need, right?
Yes.
For us to be protected. They are supposed to be the ones to protect us, to help us in terms of issues, right, that we cannot solve. Just like the Uromi clash, you could see where they say that they would have taken these people to the police.
To the
But
police. Yes.
if you ask what comes to my mind, when I hear Nigerian police, what comes to mind is bribery, corruption, lies. What they do, that's what I say. Our heads have been clouded with the negative things they do. But
Yes.
in the right, it's not supposed to be like that. They are supposed to be protecting the people, the citizens. That is
Yes.
what is supposed to be their job.
And sometimes you have maybe they need some rebranding as well. The way we're rebranding SRTV to ART today, maybe the police need the rebranding. Obasanjo wanted to change them to Nigerian Police Service, not the Nigerian Police Force. The force is making them so.
It's not about the name, that it's not about changing whether their name or their uniform. It's about them having the right mentality to do things. Because I feel like the system is already corrupt. They do a lot of things. The quest to make money is one of the problems they have. And that is why they live,
But
I would
maybe
say,
is it only the
mispowered.
police? Is it only
They
the
live the
police
thing
that
they're
is
supposed
corrupt?
to do, the right they're supposed to
Everybody in
have,
Nigeria is
the
corrupt.
the respect they're supposed to have from their citizens. They kind of reduce themselves to some level that people no longer regard them. So it's not even about rebranding them, it's all about them having the right mentality towards work. Because if you hear Nigerian police, people just laugh. People no longer take them serious. That's the truth.
And but yeah, Mary, I understand, but it's not. My concern is really it's not only the police that is corrupt in Nigeria. Yeah, but look at this one; it's barbaric, and it's kind of scary when I see them carrying this heavy gun. Maybe because I live in the UK where police don't have gun. Mary, let me show you. This is a typical British police. There's no gun, no gun. And look at them, no gun.
So
The
how can they fight their
police
enemies?
carry his
How can they
party.
fight their enemies? Like Chris, how can they fight their enemies if no
See,
God?
this is it. Yeah, they will
The
come in
kind of
numbers and overpower
Nigeria,
you. They
no,
have
the
a
kind of
special squad.
Nigeria we are living, you cannot say
Maybe a
police will not
policeman
carry
walking on
gun.
the street, what is he going to do with the gun? Who is he going to shoot?
What about those ones that are in the bush? What about those ones that are in the bush fighting? You
When we don't
okay?
have
Something
people in the
happened.
bush hiding here.
No, that the thing is, you saw that story happen in Abuja, right? Where police actually caught armed robbers. So if you want to tell me that if they go there with their empty hand, they will be able to do those robbers
No, I
anything,
don't think
it's the gun that will make them
let me
surrender.
explain really. The language armed robbery is a barbaric crime. I think it's outdated in England. Somebody say armed robber come and rob. What kind of rob? Why would they come in to rob you? Rob
But it's
who? They
everywhere.
only rob the bank. They won't come to
They
you.
rob now. They rob. They go to
But
people's
the
house.
question is, yeah, very I understand. The thing I don't understand because the Nigerian robbery system is they rob individuals. What amount does the individual have? You know, in England, I don't think a policeman will come and rob you because apparently you don't have cash on you. You understand? I go with my card. Are you gonna rob my card? You understand? So we
Yeah.
don't have we don't have cash at home. So who is he going to rob? So maybe Nigeria to learn that one of the good things about technology is that it helps to combat crime on its own. By the time everybody knows that nobody carries cash, you that is your card now, that is your cash. Then come and rob me now. I'll give you my card.
But sometimes there are other equipment at home that they still might want to take.
But
Sometimes
anyway,
robbers might take
anybody who
people's
to steal
house.
television.
They take their smart
Really?
TV, their fridge, their okay. There was one that they had to come and use the smart
That's
TV.
no problem. That's a hungry man. Maybe a hungry man is someone that come to your house
The
and
air
ask for food.
condition.
Eh?
That if you can carry anything and go out to sell, it
Look at
must not
that.
be more. It must
Maybe
not
he's
be
not
more.
an brother. That's a hungry man. In fact, I should give to him. Because if somebody that come to me and say he want my AC, because he's hungry, because he's stupid. It's not robbery. I would take that as robbery. You understand?
So robberies only those that go to break the bank. Are they the only ones referred to as armed robbers?
yeah, yes, those are people because that is what we think of armed robbery here. Armed robbery will go to the bank. You understand? And the bank sometimes don't even have cash. You know, very limited cash there. Because everything now is the card, electronics. The world has moved on, and that's some of the things we'll be talking about today. But the good thing is, Mary, let us look at some of the challenges of the Nigerian police. Let me start with the British police. Mary, in the UK, I know people don't like me when I use this, but I always say to somebody, when you watch our show, that Chris is not a typical presenter. I am a public affairs analyst. I am qualified. So I research and I bring issues. I'm not the one that come to ask you questions, blah, blah, blah. That's the different way I talk a lot. Anyway, when it comes to in the UK, the starting salary for a police constable is 28,000. This is about 20. That's if you divide that by 2 million, meaning by 12, it's with 2,000 something per month. Average. But that within 7 years alone of service, your salary will now be 46. If you divide 46 by 12, you're getting about £4,000 every month. That's 8 million naira monthly. An average police officer in the UK. And this result I'm using is from the internet. I'm not making it up. All right. Now, Mary, let us look at what the Nigerian police have. All right, let's look at Nigerian police. All right. Now, bring Nigeria on now. Mary, an average policeman in Nigeria earn 180,000 naira per month. Mary, do you know how much it's from 8 million? 118,000 naira. Not even up to 150. 118,000 naira is £50. 50.
These are actually family men, oh. Family men
Thank
and
you.
women.
Mary, come on, come on, come on, come on. Eh? And you give this man a gun. Look at them. You give him a gun. Eh? See, so this is going to be the result. Look at him. With gun. See, this is shameful. And it is barbaric, is uncivilized.
I think Chris, I don't understand. Is it that are you insinuating that they should be moving around without their guns?
They don't need a gun. That's number one. Who are they gonna shoot?
Okay, so
Who are
when
they
there's danger,
fighting
what,
for?
what, what, what are they supposed to do? Fight with their empty hands?
Mary, Nigeria technically we are not allowed to even carry gun. I can understand American police because people are allowed to carry gun, to own a gun. We are not allowed to own a gun in Nigeria. So where's the police going around with gun for? You
But not
using
with
gun
Nigerian police,
to
not with
police
our,
and
not with our,
harmless
not
people.
with our, not with our forces. You understand? The military, I think they're allowed to. For police, they're allowed to. Just that I feel like for the police, they're not just allowed to shoot anyhow. You don't just shoot anyhow,
But what are
except
they shooting at? If no police are not even allowed to shoot, the police are only allowed to disarm you. Let me say this: no policeman is allowed to shoot you, and that is why the British police will carry something. They call it the electric gun. If they shoot you, it will be electric bullet, just weaken you down. It will not be meant to kill you. But these are life ammunition. This idiot here now, they carry life ammunition. What if this gun, look at that, he's fighting this man. If the gun accidentally discharged, we hear story of accidental discharge in Nigeria. What are they doing with gun? To do what? Who are they caging? Are they talking to animals? You're dealing with human beings, your citizens, and you carry gun. These people are not allowed to carry gun. In the UK, our police don't carry gun, really. Does it make them ineffective? Are they not doing the crime? Are they not combating crime in England and in the United Kingdom as a whole? How are they able to do it without gun? Now the ones carrying gun are now actually robbing us because 90% of the robbery in Nigeria may be coming from the Nigerian police. I dare to say that, you know, and this is wrong. It's very wrong. Well, it's like we have Asaba finally, and that is after 17 minutes into the show. This have to stop, but we'll bring them in at some point. Anyway, so it is very, very sad that this is what we have in a beautiful country called Nigeria. You know, when we get Asaba now, we're going to struggle whether we can even hear them first. You see, that's the problem. They're becoming a problem to us. You see, now first we don't even see them. Anyway, let's leave them. Let's leave Asaba. They need to go. They need to go and do some rethinking in that Asaba if they want to be part of this network. Because Asaba, maybe you guys in Delta State, you have issues. We need to disgrace you people to the fullest. The number of people in Asaba alone, compared to the crew we have in Abuja and London, you're shame. I must say that. On the national television, I have to say it. It's annoying. It's very annoying. Anyway, we're gonna go on merit because we're gonna do this show in this thing. Let's see, analyze what we think the Nigerian police can do. I said it again and again. Police is very, very important. Without police, we're going to be in a state of anarchy, Mary.
But I'm still saying what I'm saying, that it is. You know the problem they have. I feel like they've lost their respect, and you know the reason why? Because of their quest for money.
Yes, I agree.
It looks as if a lot of people are now
But Mary, it's not only them. Oh.
prioritizing.
And I have two able men in Asaba today. Yet you disturb, they didn't allow these two people to join me on time. I should fire the crew there. Good morning.
Please don't fire them.
Please don't fire them. We take responsibility.
They are very wonderful.
We take
There been
responsibility.
technical issues here. If you fire them, then I stand fired.
All right, okay. We can understand that. We're just, it's a little bit sad, you know. Anyway, welcome. When I see the two faces like this, I am happy, you know. And we'll be trying to make the show very quick, and we're going to run along quickly. Today, I said let us understand the value of the police in general, any society. Well, God has taught us. I think there's a pastor preaching, and I really like what he said. He said God gave us three things. He gave us the government, he gave us the church, and he gave us a family. In the family, we have the man being the head of the family, The church, we have the clergyman being the head of the church, and the government, we have the government of the day. A country, government running affairs. In order for things to work, there are set of rules we made to govern ourselves. And I say to people, these are not the commandments of God. These are commandments we created so that we can move on. So the law Moses gave to us really is the commandment given to us so we can live in peace. Just like the Constitution of Nigeria. Now, for people to obey or abide by that Constitution, there is a body around the world that enforces it, which is the police. And so it's the most common thing you see around this world. We have police around the world, which is good. They're doing their job. But when you come to Nigeria, we have monumental problems. One, I've been quarreling with Mary, and we've been disagreeing here in an agreeable manner anyway, that the Nigerian police don't even have business carrying gun. I gave I gave two images here. You can imagine this, my people. This is Nigerian police carrying gun. This gun could discharge now, and the man is dead. What would be the excuse? Accidental discharge. What are they doing with the gun? And I gave quick instance to the British police. Look at them. There is no British policeman that will carry a gun on the street. To do what? And what is surprising me, people, is Nigeria is a country where they say we are not allowed to carry gun. America, they carry gun, so their police can carry gun. But we don't carry gun in Nigeria. We don't carry gun in England. So why is the police doing? What are they doing with the gun? How effective is the Nigerian carrying gun to us as a people in terms of their duty as doing the job? So that's one thing I want us to look into. And another thing I look at today also, which I try to share with the world already, is that the average Nigerian policeman earns 118,000 naira. This is what I got from the internet. It's not me. All right? And this includes bonuses, so all those who come to that. If not, if the ordinary salary maybe not 70-something thousand. Average, whereas if you come to the UK, in fact, this is unacceptable. You know, the UK own is sad. You know, in the UK, the salary will start from 2,000 something as you just start as a constable. 2,000 something is 4 million, almost 4 point something, 4.8 million. Then, by the time you serve for only 8 years, your salary will be about 9 million naira a month, compared to somebody you are now paying 180,000. The annoying thing is you not give the person you're giving 180,000 gone to go on the street. What do you expect? And then now, Mary is saying that the image of the police is the cause of this. But we can say as much as we want, which is my submission this morning. Without the police, there will be no law. The law you make at the National Assembly, the law the president is making, whatever law you make, without the police implementing it, it will be equal to joke. I always say to people, in the UK, I don't misbehave, not because I don't want to, because if I do, I will be caught and I will pay for it. It's not because I want to obey the law. So we obey the law here, not because we want to. Because if we don't, the police will knock at your door. In Nigeria, in fact, you enjoyfully break the law, because when the man comes, you're going to give him some 500 naira. And that's the end of the matter. And this is now killing us as a people. The society is going down and down and down. And sometimes we talk about corruption at the higher level. The only people that could have stopped them is still the police. Now we have the EFCC, for instance, or the police trying to fight crime, which is the financial crime. We are still in the same place. Again, the EFCC has become one of the most corrupt institutions in Nigeria today. It was the best, now the most corrupt. Because how much money the EFCC has stashed somewhere, they now sack one another. We have stories of that now. How are we going to move on, my people, with an institution that is so vital, so fundamental to our society survival? And yet we don't seem to understand it, or maybe give it the priority that it deserves. What do we do, my people? I'll leave this to you. I'll leave Asaba to weigh in on this. Asaba, can you hear me?
Yeah. I think we are hearing
Was
now
was struggling
clearly.
to hear
Yeah,
you.
we are.
Was
We are
struggling, but we're managing to comprehend.
yes. And we followed rather closely with your analysis and a comparison between
All right. As our network is still shaking, but we're going to have them. Trust me, these two people are the kind of people we want to have on the Good Body Show. So we have them, so we're going to take advantage of it all. Let's be patient. Maybe we can hear from them. But obviously, your network is still shaking, Asaba. Anyway, maybe like
no,
while we're waiting for Asaba.
and it's a product of the same British system, as it were, but a product of, we call it, colonialism. The only tragedy of the Nigerian policing system is that over 60 years of independence, we have not made serious effort at reforms. Who were the first people, Nigerians, who were recruited as police by the colonial authorities? They were people who were seen as people who had size, people who could intimidate, people who could respect the authorities of the queen, as it were, against their brothers here who were in the colonial setting. So
Yes,
we have a history of respecting brute disposition
of the
against
police.
intellectual disposition.
Thank you,
So
sir.
the Nigerian police was meant, till tomorrow. If
To accumulate.
my brother here has a first class, but he doesn't have an intimidating size. If he goes to police college for recruitment in Lagos or Abuja, he is not likely to be taken, because our police here is not expected to work by intelligence and intelligence gathering. Till tomorrow, that is still the case. But you are meant to, that your size should command terror before
Yeah, go on, sir.
the colonial rule of brute disposition. And that was it, and it has remained so for all these years. The question is, we need to have a reform. Now, one of the reasons, if I must confess, why we had late, Asaba joined late, is that our own Freedom Square here, somewhere by Interboa Junction, that's Shoprite district in Asaba, a, a collection of policemen had been there, and they were searching every vehicle and all that. And I talked to some persons across the country, and they told me it's the same thing, even at the Ikeja roundabout and over, that some persons have said they are going to protest over, they call it Take Back Our Nation. They are
Take back
protesting against cyber bullying and laws against the Cyber Act, and the intrusion into the democratic structures in Rivers State. For that alone, the entire police command across the nation have been put on red alert, and vehicles are being searched and all that. And there is no policeman that is going to ask a question: is this protest, is it a peaceful one? Is it in the interest of the nation? No, because the police system we have is we against them. They are for the system and not to protect the citizens. That is why somebody who commits one, who amounts wealth in one way or the other, the next is that he applies for police protection. A political office holder has some police aides taking the girlfriends to the market to buy things, and going to the police, the petrol station with siren to buy fuel and all that. But the citizens, our streets, are largely unpoliced and unprotected. And it is that same frustration that has led to the birth of the Amotekus, the kind of vigilantes that did what they did in Uromi and all that. And the police system is not collaborating with them, because they would have loved a situation where you have a police command that is structured in such a way that they receive signal from Abuja, and they cannot take signal from the chief security officer in the state, which is the governor. Whatever the governors are doing in the 36 states are just a kind of assistance, to see if they can logistic support. But they don't take, the police commissioner in Delta, for instance, cannot take instruction from Oborewore. No. Even when he pretends to, he will need to get confirmation from Abuja. And you cannot,
Network.
people, this is very, very important. It's a very, very important submission. And what I love,
United
communicators do
States
from
are
time
doing
to time.
that. It looks like that the protest everywhere. You saw the video of the United States, right?
Yeah, I thought when we review the papers, we will make a look at that.
Elon Musk. You said?
I
and
said-
the
I
same
thought-
people will come out to tell you that they,
Go on.
yes, can I hear you, sir?
Yeah, go on. We can hear
Yes,
you.
the
Go
same
on.
people will also come to tell you that's what my sister in Abuja is saying. Well, loss of respect and all that. But somebody, please, just create time. And if only for sightseeing and for your perspective to, in some ways, get enlarged, visit a police barracks in Nigeria and ask me how civil, human being kind of setting. Okay, you could go to an army barrack and you begin to think, oh, I have human beings living here. Go and check what is happening in where they call the police barracks, and you'll find out that you cannot raise anything there but beasts. And so they are bringing together beasts, unleashing them into the system. Talk to an average policeman. He tells you his shoe was bought. He bought his shoe. He paid money to get his beret. So for him to be there. And an IG has shocked us in this nation. He says he doesn't even know the number of policemen under him. He doesn't even know. Some of them have been sacked for being caught on robbery. And they go to another state and they are still policemen. So who is the policeman and all that? You don't have the statistics of who are the policemen. What kind of disposition do they have? Who trains them? Do they undergo retraining and all that? Who is reforming them? Where are they coming from? And that is the gamut of the very complex situation that we have. And until we are able to address them, it will be wrong to expect anything. Somebody say the Nigerian police is a reflection of the Nigerian society. Just like our super egos as a team, they reflect our character as a nation. So they didn't come from heaven. They are here. They've got bills to be paid, yes, and they are with us, and they are not adequately remunerated and all that. They are facing the same thing. But it's just that the orientation is that they are to protect the key operators of the system against people. So they are an anti-people. They are unleashed on the people, just the way they are now in 36 states of the federation. This morning they have taken over all the parks just because some unarmed civilians say they are going to protest peacefully, and they are armed with their gun and tear gas, and they are everywhere. That is the tragedy of the Nigerian situation, and I just hope that this generation will be able to see how it can be fixed.
Oh, engineer.
Thank you very much.
This
Quite interestingly, it's a very unfortunate scenario. The Police Act and every shenanigan going with the Police Service Commission, and of course our judiciary have been so structured in such a way that it must fail. Because the level of impunity within the political elites, with the mismanagement and misuse of the structure of security architecture in this country, has created a police that is more robotic than human.
That's true.
It's very unfortunate, I must say once again, because our police have been so politicized along ethnic, political, and religious lines. A serving police officer will come and tell you, because of what happened in Uromi, we're going to kill in the north. Highly unprofessional. I really cannot understand what they went through in police college You see, and with due respect, we have some good policemen. We have officers and we have non-commissioned officers. But it's sickening enough to see those of them that have gone to Sandhurst, that have gone to Royal Police Academy in the UK to get trained as officers, do not come back and retrain these uncommissioned officers. Our police presently, as presently constituted, is a product of the kind of democracy that we are practicing in this country. A situation, we have between 250,000 to 300,000 policemen within the police force. But let me give them like 280. Amongst the 280 policemen, about 200,000, I'm talking of 200,000, 280,000, about 200,000, or let me say between 150 and 200,000 marginally, are either with the members of the National Assembly, members of the National Executive Council, members of the state houses of assembly, and state executive councils, the members of the traditional institutions, elite, drug addicts, questionable characters who cannot substantiate the sources of their wealth, kidnappers. It's sickening enough that police should question. They go to a police station, so long as they can afford the money, they pay, and they are giving private security. You don't ask those people, how did you get this kind of wealth that you want security for? Besides all this, the growing of every day we shout in Nigeria, insecurity, insecurity, insecurity. Yes, it will continue to try because the people that are supposed to create security are part of the insecurity monster. A lot of our policemen are either aiding and abating crime and criminality. They are part of it. They support it indirectly. Police, we have seen policemen at checkpoints who have ATM machines obtaining from, yes, it's happening in Nigeria. Yes.
For easy transfer.
We have seen policemen coercing through intimidation and supposed reprimand young Nigerians who, because of their social status presented, maybe they're putting tattoos, earrings, or they are doing braids, being classified as Yahoo boys. Meanwhile, we have Yahoo men within the legislation, within the executive of the national of our country. Policemen are guiding those ones. Yahoo is not restricted to small boys pressing their laptop. People that steal through budget padding, people that are steal through inflation of budgets, and worse Yahoo men. They're worse than these young boys policemen are intimidating. People that steal police pension funds within this hierarchy. What do you call such people? So the police system is so structured in such a way that accountability must be brought back for credibility to be sustained within the security architecture of this country. The police force, that's why no regards for the EFCC, the ICPC, because most of their men are members of the police force and they have a structured mindset. A constable will be having an estate, or a hostel, inspector will have hostels for around set-like campuses of school, and we say is anyone less than 120,000.
How do you explain that?
How do you explain that?
How do you explain that?
There's Yahoo with it, and there's swapping of criminals. The prison system in Nigeria has been so structured. It's only for the poor. The rich can be swapped, or the rich can be made comfortable within the prison structure.
They can be given guest houses.
Now, the average Nigerian senator or member of National Assembly has at least 5 policemen or 5 security attaches. They have one that will follow the wives to the market, one will follow the children to school, 2 will follow him to the office, 1 will guide the house. And we crave for security. Meanwhile, is it a crime? You are in the UK, is it a crime? Where all our train stations, bus stations, like Coca roundabout here in Tabwa, we have CCTV cameras. Is it a crime for our police so effectively structured that they will carry out proactive measures instead of reactive measures?
Through intelligence
gathering. Is it a crime that we can have our politicians move without policemen? If the towns and nooks and crannies of this country are so policed effectively, like it's done in the UK where you are, there will be no need for them to be blowing siren.
Yes.
How many, yeah, the gateman of an honorable calls himself honorable. Because a gateman, when I asked one yesterday, I said yourself honorable. I said, why do you attach honorable to your name? He said, because he contested for councillor and he lost. So that enables you to, because we love entitlement in this country.
Oh my God.
Now, looking at the police structure, the police, as you have seen police opening door for Yahoo. This is somebody the UK government probably has indicted, or the American government has indicted for wire fraud. The Nigerian police will help you carry at a club or party, you help you carry watts of naira. We open the door for a criminal to come out and lock the door and help him to carry money to be sprayed. It is no setting. The police structure, the swapping of criminals within police stations. A certain young man, 25-year-old man, was beaten to death in Asaba. I think 2 weeks ago. Bobuko, 24 years old. Now the police came to say he died out of low blood pressure. When he was born, ever since living it, he has never had low blood pressure. Because NGOs and non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations have taken up the matter. They say the police came to tell Nigerians that they are the greatest liars. Between if you drop the devil and the Nigerian police and ask me to choose who is a better liar, I will choose the devil. The devil lies with records, but the Nigerian police does not have, they lie with impunity. I am so pained.
It is.
Because I've seen people that have been victims of police inordinate ambition. I have seen people, police have seen monies in their accounts. Immediately, they become expendable. They are taken to one place and they are killed. Police brutality, there's lack of professionalism. Okay, let me give you, I'm sure, I wouldn't know, but I'm sure you watch Investigation Discovery, even though some of they're acting out, but that is the way an organized society should handle policing. You don't coerce, you don't beat somebody to confess a crime he or she has not been part of.
Yeah.
Nigerian police, they beat evidence, they beat out of you
Exactly.
something you never
thought of.
There's no scientific investigation. They will force you to agree to a murder you didn't partake in. They will force you to agree to a kidnapping after subjecting you to torture and beating. There's no professionalism in the process. With due respect, we have some good officers and gentlemen. I must give credit to those ones. But there are few, and their personalities have not been able to impact in the larger police force.
That's true.
We are facing Herculean task. Look at kidnappings every day now in Delta North here. Every day. I cannot travel to Kwale, for example, or Warri to go and see my mother, or I don't go for funerals, I don't go for weddings, anything as I'm scared. Because they are everywhere, traveling from Ila through Ebu, going to, as if you are going to the north, you enter Ewohimi, Igweben, towards Uromi. That is the epicenter of kidnappers, Fulani kidnappers. And policemen will be on the road, escorting private travelers, escorting people with flash cars. Meanwhile, you have a security situation you can handle.
Yes.
It is sickening enough.
Talking about the Uromi incident, the vigilantes were said to have, when they accepted the people now they refer to as the hunters, about 25 of them thereabout assisting. It happened that they went the way they went. But the vigilantes operating from the background of their daughters that had been raped, their farmlands that had been destroyed, their forests that had been taken over, when they saw these so-called traveling hunters with their dogs and with their guns, their first point of call was the police station in Uromi. They went there to report. We are mere vigilance groups. They call us vigilantes. See, look at the people we have intercepted. the police said they are not wired to be involved in anything that had to do with Fulanis, whether they are traveling hunters or whatever, that they were not part of it. In
Are they special?
frustration, in frustration, they couldn't control the mob, and people had woken up and they came out, and that was how.
I have to throw more light on that. Look at what happened from grapevine sources between Delta State and Edo State, where they were transiting through. We're coming from Port Harcourt. They followed through Ila, Ebu, Ewohimi, towards Igweben and Urumi along Ewato. Between Ewohimi and Ewato, they said, the vigilantes said there that they saw these people parked there, the Dangote truck, and they moved, what do they call it? Arms into these trucks.
Yes.
Those people now had to call the ones in Uromi that look, so and so trucks are coming. You should check very well that some people joined the trucks with guns and all that. And before these people went to the police station. Now I expect that as hunters, you would either have live game or drive game. There was no game. You went to Port Harcourt Bush to hunt through, and there was no game, nothing. I'm totally in disagreement with what the youth carried out. But the police of Uromi Division did not act proactively when called upon, understanding the pains of the people. 2 days after that incident, a certain village in Obia Northeast in Edo State, the right police station, the certain village was almost wiped out by Fulani herders. People were killed at 2 a.m. in the night, 48 hours after that incident. Now the police have a mental, operational, fundamental, and kinetic problem in terms of the structure and the mindset. They have been so structured along the line of inducement and coercive policing as give and take. It's for the highest bidder. You cannot get justice. You cannot get police attention if you cannot pay for it.
Yeah.
That is why are we paying our taxes? I pay tax every month.
Yes.
But you can't go to a police station. Even when you go and make a case, I pay for the full scan sheet.
Yeah.
The case, I pay for
the biro.
I pay for the biro. Yeah. Then they tell you for them
you pay transport for them. Logistics for
logistics.
No, they don't have where.
Then you expect somebody, you expect rape victims to come out, or you expect people. Some people tell beg, I don't see them. If not generator they carry, may they carry. I don't feel police because I will still spend money. You see the way they are so structured. We have some elite policemen, but the rank and file our biggest problem because, like we said in the opening salvo, it's content. You are a product of the kind of content you contain, and the Nigerian police rank and file, they lack content. Most of them. I'm sorry to say it, but with due respect to those that have, majority of them lack content. There's no professionalism in the police force anymore. There's no accountability in the police force anymore. Even the ones that are on top are intimidating the ones that where are their remunerations? Police, how do you expect him not to commit crime when he shows his uniform himself?
And he must make returns.
And he must make returns.
He must make returns to the bosses.
He shows his uniform. He buys his shoe himself. He buys his beret himself. Is it ethical that tailors around the road can sew? In the UK, do you have any tailor just sew the Metropolitan Police uniform? No.
You dare not.
Our politicians travel every day. Look at the River State politicians. They're in the UK or so. I don't know where the Jamaica or so. I can't remember now. They traveled to Europe. When they went there, I didn't see any of them with policemen. I didn't see anybody carrying their briefcases for them. But when they come here, the convoy of a speaker, the convoy of an honorable member, it is very unnecessary. This is all vanity. Of what use? When you leave office, you see some of them become so ordinary. Oh, I said, so you can join queue. I've intimidated some of them. You can join queue.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Your life is now okay. They will tell you, I can't pay the police again. Now, that goes to show you that when it was taxpayers' money, they were using to pay for their personal security.
That's true.
But life, God has life. No matter the amount of security you carry, when it's your time, it's your time. Make security available to everybody, not just you, select few that loot our public funds, that steal our public funds, that use our public funds for your own comfort. The gullible Nigerians continue to be gullible. Police, do you know, sir, that police aid and abet election rigging in Nigeria?
Of course,
In
of
fact,
course.
the
They're the
master
sheriff.
riggers are policemen.
The sheep, the
The
sheriff.
master
No,
riggers.
you can't rig
You
without
can't rig
police.
without the connivance of the
You can't rig
Nigerian police
without
force.
police.
Very sickening.
And there, you see, the scary thing here is, I'm worried because two things. Communicator trace this mentality to the early times, and I almost agree, because if you see, when the British came, the even early education were not meant to educate you. They were meant to educate you so you come and serve for them. So the education you got
That's true.
were education to just read and write, to serve the monarch, to serve the queen. That
That's
was it. You understand?
That's
So
true.
the police
To protect
were
the
instrument of terror on the people, like you said, heavily built men. I probably would nobody will ever take me as police, so that they can intimidate the people for the monarch. And now these people are gone. 60 years down the line, we are still doing the same thing,
That's
and now we're even doing it worse. It's not like we say, oh, the British were not good, they were ruling us, they were taking all our resources away. Now our brothers are now in power. Tinubu is not a
Exactly.
British man, he's a Nigerian. In fact, the one that was crying a few years ago that Abacha is not good, look at Tinubu today. It's scary. And sometimes I wonder, where do we go from here, my people? What's the solution? Because this is a country without police. There's nothing that will ever work. Police are helping those, like you rightly said, now the police is now serving as the weapon for crime, not to fight crime now. They're not fighting it, they are actually aiding crime. We had few days, EFCC that we were even relying on. EFCC arrest you now. If you pay well, you get out. Of course, if Tinubu is if you are not with this government, that's when the EFCC will even call on you. Have you heard story of Yaya Bello? He's not a free man. Oh, Yaya Bello didn't steal any money. No one was arrested. No, nothing happened. Now it's scary if we're going to live in this kind of society. Actually, the low police officer we are talking about, they are actually doing the barbaric crime. The senior ones are actually doing the top crime. You rightly said, a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will have a minimum of 7 or 8 policemen, not even 5. 7, and you see them sitting in the hills like animals. Hey, very good for who? I have never seen an MP in the UK with a police. I have never seen it, my people. I have not. What are you going to do with the police? The only person that kind of have a police is the 2 Okada. If you see our prime minister going, there will be the man with a ride, the bike. That is the policeman dressed to clear the traffic. Then a Range Rover. The Range Rover will have maybe 2 SS men who are of serious intelligence. Then the vehicle carrying him. Those are the entourage. They are living where they are working in this society we live in. But I know. I'm not talking of the honorary local government chairman, not to talk of Tinubu. How many policemen do they have? For what? And the ordinary street is seriously unmanned. And another thing I was talking about before you guys joined the show was the issue of giving the policemen guns. What are they doing with the guns? I don't understand it. A country where you say we are not allowed to carry gun. Then what is the policeman doing with a gun? Because the policeman is actually using the gun to intimidate us, not to fight criminals. Many were saying that they need to carry gun. I think I cannot understand that. What are the policemen in Nigeria doing with the gun? Have you seen a policeman use the gun to kill a criminal? I've never seen them. The British police, in fact, they will bring criminals down with their if they have to use a weapon, it will be a weapon to weaken you. If they shoot you with it, it will bring you down. But it will never kill you. Extrajudicial killing is not part of the society. That is how they are trained. But it's like the Nigerian police love to shed blood. Blood, now they suck blood. And then we can say, oh, they don't care. But my fear is, how can we maintain law and order in Nigeria with this kind of police? How do we reform it? Can you see any prospect in this reformation? Because now you said something, we're going to go and take a look at the papers. A set of people said they're going to go on protest. Now they are unleashing, the police now are unleashing terror on ordinary Nigerians. I can assume that the people who want to organize this protest, they said it's peaceful, which by law is legal, it's a right. Freedom of expression.
That's true.
Freedom of assembly. In fact, it is simple. Does Nigeria sign the United Nations Treaty? Do they understand that? That people say they're going to protest, not any terror on the ordinary civilian, not even the people. Ordinary civilians. So where are we? Where are we? Are we civilized? Is that a civilized nation? That's a question to ask. Now you talk about, look at the Uromi incident, for instance, like you rightly mentioned. Hey, there is a story that should be unheard of. The police are not saying the one they did. The people they saw an unusual situation, they run to the police. That's what's going on. Police say it's not their job. I told the doctor offer to get me. They said somebody we gave money to somebody to fix to do our furniture in Asaba. And I said, can't we get the police to arrest him? He said, he was laughing. He said, you don't go to the police in Nigeria. He said, if you go there, in fact, you end up spending more than the money you. I said, really?
I'm getting no result.
That they are not being paid well. That's just, you can't compare what they pay the UK police with what they pay the Nigerian police. It's not the same thing.
No, but it's not about salary alone here. I know the salary is hard. But how do you
which Nigerian worker is being paid well? No Nigerian worker is being paid well.
Thank you.
That means
who is paid well?
there's no Nigerian worker that's being paid well. If the police is not being paid well, look, a lot of problems lie with the police. Fine. No Nigerian worker, you are not being paid. I am not being paid well. Well, now have to change it. Change your salary to dollars. See how much. The Nigerian police have been so structured to be corrupt. Whether you are not being paid well, we are corrupt in Nigeria, even in the public service. But the police is worse because they have been so structured to protect lives.
Yeah, and they have the guns. They give them guns to destroy us.
Will you be encouraged? Will you be encouraged to be a policeman when you see other policemen lose their lives and their wives are driven out of the dirty police barracks without any form of remuneration or compensation? These are little things. The difference between a successful man and an unsuccessful man is motivation. Either self-motivation, mentor motivation, role model motivation. You just need to motivate yourself. The system tries better under if the police are truly motivated. Like the only people that are motivated in Nigeria are the politicians. When you keep taking furniture allowance, wardrobe allowance, girlfriend allowance, any allowance, you will be motivated. But when the other people are seen, how can and somebody that is an illiterate that didn't go to school because he has primary 6, he becomes a counselor, he starts earning now that minimum they are earning about 600,000. Then you put a minimum in for a graduate to be earning 200-something thousand. What disparity of what use?
No.
People don't want to go to school. They say politics is the best career. They are the only motivated workers in the world, in Nigeria presently. The police can help change the situation, but they are a product of a system that the police structure have been politicized. They aid and abet corruption, they aid and abet looting, they aid and abet procrastination in governance. So the system, when you look, my dear, they are no Nigerian worker is well paid. We are all underpaid. But then they are turned, when there's something we normally talk in the office, they say, every civil servant should try to have a side hustle. You and I are Nigerian police side hustle. Their side hustle is on the express road. Their side hustle is to extort innocent Nigerians, to intimidate innocent Nigerians. That's that.
We have this situation where Every inspector general of police that comes aboard tells you that police checkpoints are illegal.
Illegal.
Police checkpoints are illegal. But
But
everywhere
you
you
still
see them, I confronted a police commissioner in state. He said, no, what you are seeing are nipping points.
They
What
must
you
give it
are
a name.
seeing are nipping
They must
points.
give it a name.
Those are points to nip crime. They are not checkpoints. And the question
Okay.
now is, what
They
is
they
the
rephrase
difference, the
it.
operational difference between a nipping point and a checking point? Because at the end of the day, what is happening in the checkpoint and the same things are happening in the nipping point. But they tell you, okay, now it's part of my handset is beyond call. Is beyond call. As a journalist, it's like my office.
It's our
I have
office.
my information here. It's
Let me
my
want to see
data
what
bank.
answers.
It's my store bank. You understand? It's my library, as it were. But
Yes.
I could be stopped and somebody will say, open it because I want to. That means you want to
It's not about
invade
the-
my privacy. You want to invade my privacy. But in Nigeria, it's very common. Your vehicle could be flanked down, and somebody says, I want to look at what is in your phone. You want to invade my library. But we have been trained to treat them with caution before accidental discharge will come.
Yes.
And they will say, oh, you were speaking plenty grammar. And the
Exactly.
accidental discharge came.
Yes.
Don't forget, we had one fellow who came from UK. He was representing Nigeria in athletics.
Dele Udo.
Dele
In
Udo.
1981.
He was
yes.
representing Nigeria in
Just
athletics.
to leave the sport, the camp in Surulere to go and eat under that Joeleba Bridge. He met the checkpoint, and during tete-a-tete
Interaction.
accident,
They said he was speaking plenty grammar. He refused to bribe them. And the next thing was that there was an accidental discharge. We have had
Lots of them.
a pregnant lawyer in Lagos.
The same
It's the same thing.
on
You know?
Christmas Day.
Oh, exactly. So that is where we are. And if somebody now says, "Oh, we are living more like people in the jungle," you say, "Oh, that is I mean, you are treating us as different people."
How can the Nigerian police allow itself to be mocked by professional politicians? Because what we're not practicing politics, we are practicing professional politics. Now during a campaign, a politician will open mouth, and a governorship aspirant or presidential aspirant will open his mouth or her mouth to tell you, we have the Nigerian police in our pocket. And that for me, that's a treasonable offense.
Of
For an
course.
individual to say that the entire police force of a country, a sovereign country, is under a political party or under his pocket because of the amount of money he has stolen or because of the ambition for political office acquisition is totally unacceptable. But we're a country where everything goes. We are a country where policemen, criminals are arrested, and when they speak a certain language, they are released. In the south here, in Asaba here, if you drive through Apanam Road, by Sweet Spirit Hotel, by Liquid Free Market, you see Fulani, the outside boys selling all types of hard drugs. Police drive their cars and pass that place. And I brought the police hierarchy to my programs on television, the faculty of data broadcasting television, a couple of times. He's been there. These are things we have discussed. They will tell you they will go. They never go. And closely after where they sell these drugs, the police will mount a checkpoint waiting for people that we go and buy. Meanwhile, they are seeing where they are selling.
The source.
The source. They don't.
Yeah.
It is the indigenous
Whoa.
who don't have, and the anointing. Our own brothers from this side, the Fulani Hausa policeman, we ask his brother to be free. But our own brother, that is a policeman, we say kill him. Let the hear what. You see, our police needs total reformation, like Baka, my brother, has spoken. We need to reform the police along religious line, along professionalism, along ethnic line. Nigerian police are the only policemen in the world who do not understand what professionalism is. A policeman is supposed to be detribalized. A policeman, you are supposed to be detribalized. You are not supposed to have any allegiance strictly to any religion. You are supposed to be thoroughly unbiased in the discharge of your duties and responsibilities. But what we have here are emotional robots who take to the dictates of their paymasters to interpret and subvert the law and to abdicate crime and criminality. That is what we have. We don't have a Nigerian police. Very unfortunate.
It is. It is. And well, the message is clear. Nigerian police, even though you are Nigerian, you are not a Muslim, you are not a Christian, you are not an Hausa man, you are not a Yoruba man, you are not an Igbo man, you are Nigerian. The whole body, you're wearing the Nigerian uniform, the most precious of all. You are a symbol of the pride, of the dignity, of the power and the strength and the forward looking of Nigeria. But this is what it turns into. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the papers because we heard that there's a lot of protests being planned and the police now taking raining terror on us. That's something we need to look at. Who are behind these protests? And it's quite interesting because I always say, sometimes I say we don't need to go on the street, but for evil to exist, righteous men are busy doing good. Let us go on a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the papers. Maybe get ready for us. We'll take a look at the papers quickly. Don't go away, stay with us.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
Welcome back, people. Welcome back. This is the Rise and Shine Nigeria on the African Renaissance Television. Today it's been very, very hot. I would say it's bloody, but we've been sincere. A society without a police is actually in anarchy. It's lawlessness. And that's what we have in Nigeria today. That it is beyond my understanding why these people are actually given the uniform to wear. But that will be a discussion we will keep talking about on this show. I thought Mary would be here to actually run us through some of the papers because it is long over. The time is for us to actually take a look at some of the papers this morning. And like, it'll be quite interesting to see. I don't know what happened. I think Mary is having one or two issues. But I was going to wait for Mary so that she can go through the papers and read it for us if we want to spend more time to look at that. But in the meantime, sir, the protest. Let's take a look at the protest. It's one of the headlines we have this morning. What are the young people are saying again that they want to take back their country, and the protest is supposed to be peaceful. Why is it so a threat to the government of today? Why is a peaceful protest a threat to government? Or is the protest not going to be peaceful? Is that their fear?
As part of a natural process of taking back your country, a protest is said to be a peaceful one. And first and foremost, the young people want their voices to be heard.
Yes.
You understand? But
yes,
this the political elite consider as a threat. Why would you want to assemble? Why would you want to, as it were, canvass contrary opinions and views if you are to assemble at all, you should assemble to pass a vote of confidence on the federal government
Or the
reforms,
government,
which,
yes.
by the way, is increasing poverty in the land and worsening the standard of living. So, but must you gather to now talk about we want to take back our country? Because the semantic implication of taking back is that your country is in the hand of some other persons, and
Of
that is
course.
what the government is totally against. That why would you want to gather? So whether it is peaceful or not, because again, there is this belief that no matter how peaceful it is, if it is allowed to be peaceful the first day, peaceful the second day, it attracts more attention. The international community begins to then becomes some form of galvanizing point for opposition and those who are canvassing contrary, opposing views. If anybody will gather in Nigeria now, Mishak and I should be able to gather people in Asaba and say we are endorsing Tinubu as the sole presidential candidate for 2027 because
Yes.
his reforms are beginning to yield fruit. We'll get funding.
Exactly.
We'll get funding. We'll
You will
get
get it.
applause.
You'll
They
get
will
it
give
now.
us
You'll get
police
something.
to guide us wherever we go to.
Yes.
You understand? And some
Yes.
of the people, we could be penciled for ambassadorial position.
Yes,
We
look
could
at
be
Yes.
the
penciled.
mockery.
They have a screen for governor
It's
for
fine,
ambassadorial
ambassador.
position.
Because they are professional psychopaths.
Exactly. So
Yes.
go to so country and stay there and look away while we perfect what we are doing against 2020 towards a countdown to 2027. You understand? But for you to now gather and tell Nigerians that we want to take back our country, the question is, where is your country now? In the hand of plutocrats, in the hands of those who are looting and taking it out of this country, in the hands of those who are increasing poverty, the hands of those who are making things difficult. Education is not accessible for our people. Poverty is being increased in the north and everywhere. Insecurity is looming large. Democratic structures are being crumbled. You are bringing back a retired naval officer to be a sole administrator and crumbling the entire democratic structures of a state as significant as River State. So these are things that the young people are seeing as danger towards the they are saying, let's have a free space. Let us take back our country and let our voices be heard. Because what is happening now, there are obvious threats. If you are opposing them in the National Assembly, they suspend you for 6 months.
Exactly.
If you are not buying into whatever agreement with a godfather that is close to that is part of the presidency, they declare state of emergency. So these are danger signals. And some other state governors are being beaten into shape. That you have seen the state captures that are happening, both in Ondo, both in Edo. If you are not whipped to line now, you are next. And for political self-preservation, they begin to even purge their opposition and begin to fall into line.
We don't have opposition
from neutrality. So the danger of a one-party state. And somebody said the man in Aso Rock is not behaving like a Democrat. He's behaving like a monarchy. He's behaving like a monarchy. You understand? And by his age, he does not have a graph of the economic trends and cannot provide solution. So you have a rule of a cabal who are around, and it's a symbolic head. And the very dangerous trend is that it did happen in time of Buhari, and we are moving from one of such system to another one. And if Nigerians do not come together to take back their country, the danger is that what is happening now could extend beyond 2027. And it's going to be very dangerous for democracy.
However, moving forward, I think the organizers missed it in the coinage of the heading for this protest. I think the government needed to react the way they are reacting now, because Take Back Our Country protest can be misinterpreted by a lot of multiple divided opinions that we have in this country. Maybe if they had come up with something like Heal Our Land, something very subtle, why would the government react, and why are they reacting the way they are reacting? Because it's just like you calling somebody that is a thief, already knows a thief. And you are suspecting the person to be a thief. The person will not say, I'm going to take my things that I've stolen. I'm coming to take it from you.
Exactly.
The person will be very proactive in terms of shielding, knowing fully well that if they come and search the house, they will see it. They will start doing things that will limit your accessibility to that.
Because obviously the battle line is drawn. The battle line is drawn.
Anything I don't blame the organizers for choosing what they have chosen, because we have lost this country to a certain group of people, a country where we lack opposition, where the opposition have been so weakened by fifth columnists. Where is it? Is PDP a party? No. Is the Labour Party a party?
No.
Is ABGA a party? No. APC has turned to the only party, like you referenced. Yaya Bello has over 4 or 5 cases with the EFCC.
Yes.
They could not arrest him in Nigeria.
No.
They could not arrest him. They even went to the EFCC office. They threw face away. They said they did not invite him.
He went there and came back home. He went back home. The man
And
is
came
at
back
home.
home. The EFCC will say, what a country! What a country of hypocrites!
What's the question?
A country of hypocritical leadership. How would you tell me to be happy with that kind of scenario when you have hypocrites everywhere? What a country where the ruling party, the former ruling party, the PDP, have been so structured to fail. Where the same law, the lack of internal democracy, they could not caution Nyesom Wike, they could not expel him from the party. He is in another party, still controlling the PDP. The same people that did one kind of what Nyesom Wike did have been asked to leave the party, have been suspended, have been reprimanded. But the fear of Nyesom Wike, nobody has spoken anything. How can you give the mere mortal that kind of power? That it will insult a nation, it will insult a political ideology? Then is it the PDP you want to use as opposition against the APC?
No, I think that's the danger of the current democracy in Nigeria.
Practicing.
Because the ruling power is in control of the commonwealth, the common resources, and is using it very diabolically, very dangerously to export crisis into the other opposition parties. The problem you are having in the Labour Party was exported from the ruling party, because the performance of the Labour Party in the last government was such that it sprang a surprise. So if things are allowed to remain like this, they could be a credible opposition. So we can't allow them be. So we must export crisis, that they will go from one court to the other over, is it Aburi that is the leader, or well, those people are within, as fifth columnists, they are paid to be the problem. And of course,
they are being compensated already with ambassadorial positions.
Oh yes.
Green.
So that we remain in one political party. We have one political party that will take the nation nowhere, democratically speaking.
Nigeria is a product of all of us. You and I inclusive. You and I are playing our bit. Why do I say you and I inclusive? We are a product of the society we have created. Because some of these people, when the same Reno Omokri will be castigating the Buhari castigated Tinubu both in France and in the UK. But now the moment you jump ship, their language changes.
Exactly.
Their language changes towards psychopathy. Their language changes towards gainsaying. What are we doing to our democracy today? We are killing a generation that is yet unborn.
Yeah, the future is a danger.
The future is being sold by the ruling class because of their greed and avarice. The Nigerian politicians are the only breed of politicians that give me a thought line that I begin to imagine if politicians can stay in Dubai, America, Canada, Australia, sleep on the same those beds in those countries in one night. That is the kind of politicians we have. Look at our Sabah, for example. All they build are hotels and lounges. They don't build industries. They don't build anything, factories.
Hotels,
Look at
hotels.
arable lands for farming. You can't encourage people to go to farm. All you do is to share the government allocation, share your conspiracy funds. Then you buy sewing machine. You buy that you're doing empowerment. You
Exactly.
buy cutlass and is that empowerment?
Power to idiots.
Empowerment is sustainable development. Empowerment is making is it a crime if our national grid is working today that we don't need to be buying generators of fuel or we don't need to be buying solar? Is it a crime? I've never seen water board work in the last 40 years. Water board, everybody's using borehole. But when we were much younger, the water board was working. When we had PW, Public Works Department, they were functioning. Our local councils were working. They had tractors. Let me tell you something. I live in shame when I move around Asaba. Why do I say it? Now, during the rainy season, they tell inhabitants to silt your drains, that the council will come and pack or government will come and pack the silt. Do you know all the silting that people carried out immediately after the rainy season are going back because no government agency, the Oshimilisa local government, Oshimilisa local government, they are not doing their work. I will say it, the chairman are my friends. They are not
Now they want to discover
Mishak, that they are is a tragedy on its own. Is the
network. Please let us hear. Oh my God!
What they call environmental sanitation.
Well, the network in Asaba is bad, but we're not going to go away because this is really, really good. Better get ready to
environmental
with us quickly. Okay?
And waste management.
Yeah, network is bad.
Yes, very, very bad. Very, very bad. Anyway, the network is what it is. You can hear the frustration, how angry people are, and how objective these guys, they don't hate you. The system is unacceptable. It has to stop. Tinubu is one hell of a terror. The young girl may be right, sir. You should ask yourself, are you a terrible president? Because what is going on there? You're raining terror on your people. Now, what like they said, we can remain in PDP. That is beyond my understanding. We get that is a destroyer. Remain in your PDP. So you're going to have a meeting and you call Wike PDP. You are what a shame. That's why we are where we are. No opposition. And I don't even know where to start. Well, like I said, I want to quickly take a look at the papers with Mary. At least one of them, Mary. What's going on? It's like the whole network is going away. Right? What it is, well, I don't even mind if you guys don't mind if you could call the show a wrap at this point, because we have a lot. I wanted us to take a look at the papers because we want to see the protest. I want to look at this protest, the ingredients, the elements, and what the protest stand to achieve for Nigeria. Whether we can actually sensitize the people, whether it is a protest we should follow or the one we shouldn't. That was why I wanted us to take a look at the papers together. And when we get there, I'll be asking my expert if it is the right thing to do. And should we tell Nigerians to support it? How do you support a protest? Those are the questions I really want to ask today. And you out there, Without the expert opinion, my question is, what do you understand with the take back our country? Are they right? Is it their right to do so? What is their crime? If it is their right, how do we support it? Friends, families, this is a difficult time in the history of Nigeria. If we don't take these things seriously, I don't know where we'll be. Mary, are you back? Thank God you're back. Well, I just wanted us to take a look at, even if it is just one paper today, you understand? And I wasn't looking at this, but let's just take a look
Okay.
at the papers and then see what we can do, whether we can still get a few minutes of it, because I wanted to actually wrap up the show. But let's take a look at it because it is very important. We look at the ingredients of this protest and see whether it is worth discussing at all. So yes, welcome back, Asaba. The network is been
Thank
a
you.
shame, but we are still here, and it's good that we're here. All right. So let us go. Uh, Mary, let's take a look at the papers quickly. All right.
Okay, so we start with the front, right?
All
Before
right.
Vanguard.
We can do the points. Yes, no problem.
Okay, the
Okay.
big story of the punch. We have 20 governors under fire for delaying 70,000 naira minimum wage. Local government workers, teachers in Zamfara, Cross River, Abia, others yet to get minimum wage on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Moving forward, we have a story here that says police commands brace for fresh nationwide protest on page 2. Supreme Court judgment, Abure fears Labour Party headquarters takeover by NLC on page 16. 2027 coalition pushes for single-term candidates on page 8. Tinubu Obasanjo Makinde months as ex-Oyo governor. Ololoye dies at 89. That story is on page 12. Still on the punch, we have a story here that says Nigerians debt servicing rises at 68% to 13 trillion naira on page 31. 15 injured in Lagos gas explosion on page 5. Why Trump tariff is bad for Nigerian exports is coming from federal government. And that story is on page 31. These are all the stories we have this morning in the punch.
Well, one important story that I don't think how much time we have today. These 20 governors, so the minimum wage is still not in effect from what they're saying. They're still delaying the minimum wage of 70,000 naira, which is an insult anyway, which is actually slavery. So what is going on in Nigeria is a governor earns close to 2 billion and they cannot pay the ordinary Nigerians 70,000 naira minimum wage. Why I don't agree with people with the workers who do not contribute to the economy. But what right has the governors got to earn this huge amount of money? We don't need to talk about the presidency. Even local government chairman earn well. The only people that are really slaves are the ordinary people. Maybe commentators will tell us maybe this is the same mentality that the colonial time they left with us. They came only to
These
take.
same governors that
Whether
are
they
finding
pay you, they give you peanuts.
these same
Welfare
governors
no
finding it
matter.
difficult to pay the minimum wage. They are moving with convoys, traveling around the world,
Exactly.
but they don't have enough funds to pay such kind of amount. How much is seventy
The,
thousand
the,
naira?
the, the, co- the cost of governance is nauseatingly overbloated. The cost of governance, the convoy of an average a governor in Nigeria, is so wasteful, so wasteful. Fueling it alone is so wasteful. The number of aides highly unnecessary, and at the end of the day, you entertain this high cost of governance, and you are not able to pay the average worker 70,000. And a motivated worker is supposed to be a productive worker. And for as long as these 20 governors are dilly-dallying in having it implemented, and it's almost the same thing even at the local government level, you find out that you have an unmotivated workforce that will be struggling to see how they can make both ends meet. And you see that the public sector is not productive.
It's going to take a
So,
lot of
because somebody said, if you want to pay peanuts, then be ready to have monkeys to work for you, because it's only monkeys that will like peanuts, So, but we have governors who want to have workers who they will pretend to be paying, and the workers will also pretend to be working. And at the end of the day, you find out that the system is
well,
not moving forward.
Well, however, before you leave, however, throwing more light on what is just said, the fact remains that they are more concerned about the next election. Now, amount of money they keep for prosecution of election, and most times in Nigeria, I have found out that most of our elections are selection processes, and you
Of
need
course.
money for selection processes. It is the governor that
No, it's consultation. Consultation, you call it.
however you want to.
You want to consult so that they can endorse you.
Exactly.
Chairman,
They use the right
and
word.
the funds were brought by the governors. We can affect to that. And that is what is obtainable in all the states. They will buy funds for national House of Assembly members, National Assembly members. They will even give people that you fetch water from stream and give to ocean. People that are already full, you still give them cheap as honorarium.
Yeah, they are the kingmakers, so that they can endorse you. And once they endorse you, where the election process with the people is a ceremonial
They will
thing.
keep money for
Once they have endorsed
they will
you,
tell you they've kept money for
Police will aid and abet them.
So why in that circumstance it will be difficult for them to pay minimum wage? Not that they cannot pay, but the money has already been
earmarked.
2025, they are planning for 2027 election. If you are truly working, do you need to plan? Your manifesto, people, we will create manifesto for you because you are working. What a country.
The consultation has already started. So you need to be endorsed by the kingmakers.
In fact, there's one story disturbing the whole world at the moment, which is Trump. Trump is actually tormenting the world as it is. On one hand, you guys might not agree, but the man is fighting for America. He doesn't want to spend American money for the rest of the world. The effect is like Trump doesn't know who is a friend. He doesn't
exactly.
And like, this is now I don't know how the world going to handle this. I should we be looking for another leader, because America has been the world leader till today. But now with this approach, definitely America have no, because you must put your mouth where your money is. America is not ready to put their money where they be putting their mouth, because American mouth is everywhere. You must do this, you must do this, you must do this. Now the little help, the little aid, the little guidance, the little support we get from them, they say no, we are looking at our pockets. And yet the symbol to exercise state power is that possible? You think America still have that moral stand?
Well, there are a whole number of there are perspectives to that. It's very personal to me. My very personal takeaway from it, I see Trump as a nationalist. I see him as an American statesman. His love is for America. And the lesson, the signal is sending to the whole world is put your nation first. Put your nation first. And try to take care of the issues of your nation. I wouldn't expect Mishak to come and solve the issues of my household. So if every household can solve their issues, if every local government should be able to take care of their local government, if every state should be able to improve on their infrastructure, if Nigeria should be able to look inwards and solve its problem, then but the paradox is that we have been having people in Nigeria who claim to be statesmen, and they exploit our resources here, they loot our commonwealth and capital flight, and they send it to America to go and hide. Trump is saying, don't bring anything to go and hide here, but don't expect me to come and solve your health issues.
Exactly.
So you should be able to, and if we are trading, it's bilateral. I also expect some tariff over that.
Yes.
So putting America first. He's a statesman, for goodness sake. Give it whatever interpretation. We are trying for statesmen here. We need statesmen in Nigeria. We need statesmen in Nigeria. He has come for America. Yes. Are you the one that comment or look at we for another? Oh, if you like, look for another. He has come for America and he wants to improve the American economy. However,
Exactly.
he is doing it is in the interest of America,
Yes, of American people.
America's economy. And Nigeria should also see how to look inwards and in order that we can improve on our economy. Because at the end of the day, the salvation we are all clamoring for should be able to be homegrown. It should come from here. It shouldn't come from America. It's not coming from Europe either.
No.
So we
It's
should
not,
be able to
and
look
it will never
inward
come from
and
there.
see how we can better our economy. Yes.
In fact,
You said?
that is the go on, sir. Go on.
Yes, when you look at the Trump issue, it's very interesting. Relating it to Nigeria, it's quite interesting. You know, they are the native, the true Americans. They might not necessarily be happy with what Trump is doing, but they are happy with the fact that what he's doing is against people that they don't like and they don't want. So we need to fight a purpose-driven fight in this country, politically, religiously, and of course, with our minds. We need mindset transformation in both followership and leadership to be able to achieve the Nigeria of our vision. We need to reduce the relevance of democracy in our style of democracy. It's too expensive.
It is.
It has made a career for some people all their lives. They have
Some fools.
depended on public funds as a way out of financial emancipation.
I think I understand you to mean there that democracy is a universal concept, but the application should be context based.
Yes,
In the
exactly.
context of our cultural, economic, and social reality, what kind of democracy are we to practice here? Because what is happening now, the Obasanjos of this world say it is a danger.
If for me, it will shock you what I'm going to say. But I have seen democracy. I have read Confederation. I did not meet it. But for me, I think we should go back to regional government. Let our resources, each region should use its resources. Louis, I was watching a video of Zamfara and some of those northern states around Zamfara also. Look at the level of excavation of gold, the level of gold people are digging out of the ground. Who are the people exporting? It's the same way we have oil in the south here. But the government is focused on the oil. Why not focus on all the natural resources? The gold, some people get this gold. They export. I watched this when I was weeping. They will export this gold. That means for those explorers, they are not the oil barons. We have people that sent those people to go and explore those golds. They brought them from the beneath of the earth.
Yeah.
They will carry it to those political elites or those big men who are going to export it.
They also
So
have
for me,
international
I think,
collaborators.
There are two things that we need. If we must practice democracy, let us practice the kind of democracy we truly inherited. Our democracy is too expensive. I want to see a council chairman be able to walk on the streets of Asaba, for example, or the streets of Nigeria without security. To be able to go to a train station and go into a tube without security. Because if they secure the environment, they will not need personal security.
Exactly.
The monster we are facing today is a creation of our politicians and our style of governance and the way mediocrity over content.
That is also the same way I am worried over our policing system, which we discussed earlier. Is it what command should be from Abuja? Can you police Bayelsa State from Abuja and do it effectively? What is wrong if Bayelsa, for instance, has its own state police? The West is trying to come up with what they call a Moteku. There you have something in the Ebubagu or so in the southeast, but is that as formal, as official, as effective and functional as in a case where you have a decentralized police command, where you say the southwest now, you can take your signal command from Oyo, Ibadan, for instance, and southeast perhaps from Enugu, and so that for effectiveness sake, and for efficiency. But what we have now is too bogus to ever be effective.
I agree, but just to throw light, I want Mary to take a look at. We're going to take a Vanguard, Mary. So get ready to take us to Vanguard. But I just want to talk to throw some light on what the engineer said, that he wants us to go back to the regional time. Yes, why I agree with that. But perhaps we should be focused on not really going back to the three system, to the three to when we have three regions or four regions. But we should focus on how these states now can be independent. Like for instance, in America, when we copy this so-called federal system of government, New York have their own police. New York have their own economy.
That's true.
California have their own police. They have their own economy. You understand? So every state in America is an independent, economically, in policy and so many areas.
That's true federalism.
That is true federalism. Nigeria is not practicing federalism. This is a unity state. What we have in Nigeria is a unity state, and it's because of one thing. Oil. The only reason we are practicing this unity state is because of oil. If every state like
oil.
But we have natural resources in the north.
Yes, if they can see if the northerners are actually looking into the resources they have, and the westerners are doing the same, like cocoa, like they used to do. And what built the West with cocoa, proceed from cocoa. The north were having the pyramid canal. So they were making, and we can go back to it. And every state, in fact, Nigeria will be growing. Every state in the country will be making their own money, running themselves like a country. Like we asked on this show one time, I asked, would it be so bad if Delta State begin to make their own money? Run their own police.
Not at all.
Run their own economy. Behave like a country.
There will be healthy competition. There will be healthy competition. Exactly. Just as there was in the time of Awolowo. And there will be accountability.
Yes, sir.
And economies can be built.
Everybody will not fail.
We stand up.
No, look at it now. Lagos State is not ready to fail with the rest of the country. Lagos State is moving on. So, and that is what we want to see. So let us see. Everybody will say, oh, look at Lagos, look at Lagos. Not that Lagos is really the new one. But Lagos was able to come out and say, hey, our economy, our GDP is higher than that of Kenya. Imagine, Oboriwori, he cannot even say a word. The last time I heard him speak, Oboriwori just said that we are not owing one contractor. Everybody, they should come and see what we are doing. We are not owing any contractor. And I'm wondering, what is he talking about? So your job is to collect money and spend on contractors. That is a governor. That is governor of Delta State. I'm confused. No, not versed. So the governor's job is to collect money and spend. Like every other state. See, if you leave them as they are now, they can still be productive. Let the governor start to show us a route to true federalism. Why the federal government is disturbing them? The only true trouble federal government is giving them is taking control of oil. Federal government have not stopped Delta State from having any business. Delta Farm, federal government have not stopped you. Delta Egg, now, Enugu have airline. The federal government have not stopped you from making business and making money for your state. What are they doing? When the federal government is doing their own, what are the state governors doing? They are all dancing with Wike. Wike is such a cripple in Abuja looking for one thing, only oil money. The only reason Wike is important is oil money. The only reason Tinubu is important is the economic control he has. If the states were making their own money, come on, man. Tinubu will be scared. When a man have money, I always give the instance. If you have a wife in the UK, when her pocket, Mary come now, Mary don't make money here. She will be speaking ene, because she has money in her pocket. When they start making money, women begin to speak ene. Our women here, they speak ene. Like I say, when they speak ene, they say don't go far. Money don't in the pocket. You tell her something, you ask why. You can't control her anymore. So if the states are making their own money, we'll be heading in the right direction. True federalism will come from the action, from the activities of the state governors. The state Nobody stops people from making money. Get out there and make money. That would be my take on that. Let's quickly take a look at the last paper for today, which is the Vanguard. A beautiful headline there. Quickly.
Oh, okay, let me see the big story. The big story on the Vanguard, we have Cybercrime Act, emergency road protests, anxiety as police organizers differ. Why we are leading protests is coming from Take It Back, Sowore, demands appeal of Cybercrime Act, wants government institutions restored in River State. NFJF orders back protests. Authorities must uphold human rights ahead of planned protests. This coming from Amnesty International. Please beef up security around strategic locations, installations in Lagos. Another story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper.
Really?
Still on the Vanguard. Okay.
Yeah, I want us to zero on this
Should I
very
go
difficult
on?
issue. No, Mary. Let my team let's talk about this anxiety as police is worried about this take back our country. The protest might mean well, but my people, I want to ask this: is Sowore is always behind? Because the last time this young girl came out to say something, yeah, a terrible president, Sowore was there. I know Sowore is now talking with, so he like to associate with people who are protesting. Is he doing it in the interest of the country or he wants to be relevant? I'm still getting confused with who he is. What is his take on all this one?
Well,
Is he a true lover of the people?
to a large
Will you say
extent,
that?
I think he's doing it for the listen.
Now, so this
Thank
people are
you.
getting
The
a
last
little
generation of activists died with Ganifa
Ganifa Wemi,
Wemi, Fela,
Femi,
and you name it.
Ransom
Femi
Kuti.
Femi Falana has become quiet since because his co activists have all died, and he has left it for this generation. Barrister Adeyanju and the likes of Sowore. I give Sowore a lot of credit to fight this kind of government through social media and through interactions like this, through support for projects like this is quite intimidating. You put your family at risk. You put uh, your siblings, your extended family at risk. You put your businesses at risk. You must be a strong-willed person to be able to overcome this. Ask those that have tried it and where they are. I give kudos to Sowore. But however, moving forward, the narration from the front page of Vanguard, it's not out of place. They must differ. The police will tell you this is why we are here. Like we said in the earlier postulations, we made reference to the fact that yes, take back our country is an inciting heading enough
It
in
is
itself for the
scary.
politicians to be scared
Yes.
because
Any government will be worried.
because we remember what happened in North Africa. We remember the Middle East tsunami that swallowed so many Middle Eastern countries. Started in North Africa. Yeah, it started like this. This is the police, the kind of police force we
True.
have.
That's true.
Are puppets in the hands of the elite. Look at what happened in Kogi State. Because they knew 24 hours to the visit or the return of Natasha, the police felt insecure. Look at the caveat. They said it is insecure for processions, it is insecure for gatherings. But then Kogi and Benue State is not insecure for bandits and kidnappings
But
that have been
bandits,
going
no.
on. It is
They
not
kidnap people
insecure.
for
The
no
police
reason.
could not do anything about that. Then a certain individual that is coming to our constituency is being told she cannot come. And I give her kudos. She beats them to their foolishness. She
Sadly.
came with a shopper. There's no checkpoint
Yes.
up there in the sky. She took them
Yes.
unaware because their intelligent gathering didn't foresee that there was a possibility she could have come with a shopper. That is the hypocrisy of our security agents, especially the police force, Do not, for we are scared of procession, but every day highways in Kogi and Benue State are being compromised by bandits and Fulani herders. The towns and cities, towns and clans and communities are being overrun by the same people. Then you are telling us you know your work. It's unfortunate, Baka.
I think there's the urgent need for a total, call it police reform, call it a total change of mindset. We must have a paradigm shift from an anti-people police to a pro-people policing. The police should be able to secure the people and not to be anti-people and pro-establishment. You just narrated what happened in Kogi, and that was a case of being anti-people and pro-establishment.
Exactly.
And there was no way the police would be able to have a middle course. Well, we should find a situation where we reform the police by making them understand that first and foremost they are Nigerians. In the profession some of us belong.
All right. We spent a lot of time
analysis. Do not see to it that the nation doesn't burn, because when the nation is burning, your journalism could not thrive in a burning nation. That is also how the average Nigerian policeman should be able to see the possibility of a functioning Nigerian system, and not a situation where it is, you just take instruction hook, line, and sinker from the people up there, and all the time you are consistently against the people. The society cannot grow through that. We need a civil police. They tried doing that in a swap in nomenclature when they said not a police force. They removed force. They tried doing that in removing.
They changed the police service, right? Well,
what is very urgent for them to change the mindset of the average Nigerian police. You can change the uniform for 100 times, for goodness sake. It doesn't change, because beyond the hood, we need to know who the monk is. And the Nigerian police have tried changing uniform. It hasn't changed them. They should reform the system so that it be pro-people, so that the Nigerian system can move forward.
You're right. What a place to do this. And right now, I'm even very more worried here that what's going to happen? The young people are going to come out on the street to protest. They want their country back. The police will do what they're usual. They will rain terror on them. What would be your advice for them at this stage?
Management.
What would you have for the police
Management.
and for the young people?
Yes, both the citizens, because first and foremost, why do I start with the protesters? We have a police force that is reactive. So I say they should manage the protests. I'm talking of the protesters now. They should eschew violence. There should not be any form. They should not allow break laws and other. They should not try to subvert justice or subvert to do anything that is wrong, because we have a police force that has been so structured. Probably they will be shocked when it happens. They will tell you we're instructed to shoot aside if it gets out of hand. So I think it will need a situation that is peaceful. The police need to eschew restraint when they are even in the most provoked situation. They should eschew restraint from using arms. Crowd management. They should use water cannons. It's more important. I prefer it to them using what do they call it?
Tear gas than life ammunition.
We don't have rubber bullets in Nigeria, I'm sure. They should not use life ammunition and tell us it's rubber bullets. They don't know who shot the bullets. So I think it's all about both sides managing the protests holistically.
But in all, it is important that the voice of the Nigerian youth is heard.
No, it's very important.
We hope so.
And sometimes, though, they will tell you that the young people have alleged so many times that they may go on the protest, and the authority might send in some people to do the damage and say, oh, they've started looting. That give excuse to wipe them off the street. Because that's what they do. If they are on the street
Yes.
for too long and they don't know what to do, they will send some of their people to
Infiltration.
go and start to loot. And they say, oh, they've started looting, that's why we intervene. So it's a very difficult
To justify their intervention.
Exactly.
Infiltration. Yes.
Yes. So it's a nice situation. We pray for the for the young people, but what you're doing is very important. It's timely. But I still wonder what kind of government, what responsible government will be happy to unleash terror on his own children for saying, "Baba, listen to us." I don't understand that, and I think we should be careful.
You said what responsible government? Do we have a responsible government?
That's the question. That's the question. Well, thank you very much for today. It's been a long day.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. In fact, when I have the two of you, I am relaxed and I know things will be addressed. And I think the audience, they picked a lot, and they must have learned a lot from us today. And we love Nigeria.
Thank you.
We want the country to grow. We want to live in a civilized society where there is law and order. It will not happen without a functional police. And this kind of police now, we started with police today. This is where police need to do what they do best. Why they were even set up in the first place, to maintain law and order, not to intimidate. That mentality that the British taught you to bring you men to fight your own people, the British are no more here. So that you are now using the same terror now. Your own politicians are using you to fight your own people. And sometimes these people are actually fighting for you. It was such an interesting thing that young people were fighting for you to get a better pay, and the same people you were leading terror. And it doesn't add up. Maybe we need to wake up. We need to wake up, because the system now, the governors are still not paying the salary. We are complaining about your salary here, 118,000 naira. We're not happy with that kind of salary. That's not what you should be paid. But when we want to come out to talk, you are the one they will send to come and shoot at us. May God help you, one of us. Thank you very much for the day.
If the youth in Nigeria even gather to protest for better pay for police, the government will send the police to go and quell that protest.
That's what they are saying.
And they can quell it with gun and shoot some people, and some people will die in the protest. Meanwhile, you are on the street asking for better pay, better remuneration for the police.
That's it.
That is the kind of police we have. That is their mindset. But it needs
Mary, you remember how you ran away the last time you went on there to cover a protest in Abuja? Mary was running. They say, hey, they almost shot at me. I said, Mary, you won't die. Don't worry. I gave you some bulletproof. Anyway, that's where we wrap up today, people. Thank you very much for joining us. This is beautiful morning. We pray for Nigeria. We hope that the protest is peaceful and that the voice of the young people, please, government, listen to them. Police, whatever they are complaining about is for your own good, because if Nigeria gets better, you will get better pay and you get better welfare. So why are you shooting the same people who are fighting for you? The question is, police, you need to ask yourself, on which side do you think is really better for you? The man that is treating you as a slave, because the politician, the senator you are serving, look at the way he's living, look at where you live. You are citizens of the same country. He's not better than you. You are equal. You are Nigerians. But look at where he lives and look at where you are. It's the same person that will tell you to go and shoot at the ordinary man who's like you. It doesn't make sense. That's where I end the show. Don't say as if I'm instigating people, but I will end it there. Thank you very much. Mary, thank you for joining us this morning and being a good girl. We'll end the show here until tomorrow when we'll come again. Stay out of trouble, young people. Please protect yourself. Please protect yourself. Police, please refrain from using that gun. It is not meant to shoot ordinary Nigerians. Thank you very much. Bye.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating